Hi, this is Sue for Parkies and Me, My Journey with Parkinson's. Now, I thought I'd talk a little bit about myself in this podcast, and I've titled it, Why I Think I'm Qualified to Talk About Parkinson's. I have been affected by Parkinson's most of my life. My father got Parkinson's when he was quite early, I think in his 40s, and he was with us for 20 years post that diagnosis. And then, as luck would have it, but as bad luck would have it, I visited my mum after he'd passed, and she was hanging up the washing on the clothesline. And I made a bit of a joke about having the DTs because her hand was shaking. And she turned to me and she said, "Oh, I hoped you wouldn't notice I have Parkinson's." So that's both my parents with Parkinson's. And that was a real blow to myself and to the rest of the family. So I not only supported my dad when he had Parkinson's, but also my mum, both as when she was his carer, and then he had to go into residential care. And then I supported her through her Parkinson's and her entry into residential care. And I've also been working for 20 years as a social worker. And in that time, I've come across quite a few people with multiple sclerosis and Parkinson's. And so from a professional level, I've also had some experience with Parkinson's. I have made connections with several professionals who I think would be valuable to interview on these podcasts. So far I have interviewed Louise Taylor, who is a lawyer of many years with great experience in several areas that relate to Parkinson's and anybody that's in a vulnerable position that needs support. So she has done a podcast with me, first one about wills and about enduring power of attorney for welfare and enduring power of attorney for property. I know in listening to those podcasts, I certainly learned a lot and I thought I knew quite a bit. So in my family, like I say, we had my dad, then my mum, now myself with Parkinson's, and also my oldest brother has 2 daughters, and on their maternal side, both their grandparents had Parkinson's disease. So it is a pronounced condition in our family. We have knowledge in several ways about Parkinson's and how it affects people. So what I aim to do is to interview people that will be useful to get some information about things like wills and things like enduring power of attorney and why they are important to have. And also elder abuse is a topic I'm going to be speaking with the CEO of Age Concern Canterbury, Greta Bond. So I'll be talking to her about elder abuse and about the services of Age Concern Canterbury. During this journey with this podcast, I'm sure there will be other people that I can interview as well, but I'm just building up my repertoire of support people who can come and speak and be interviewed so that I can provide some useful information for you. So along the way, I will endeavour to get various people who would be beneficial to interview in relation to Parkinson's. They will be from varied backgrounds, but all of them will be useful to hear from in this podcast. So yes, in closing, my name is Sue. I worked for 20 years as a social worker, 11 years in a hospital setting. Both my parents had Parkinson's. I have Parkinson's. And so one thing that struck me about Parkinson's is my mum and dad's journey with Parkinson's was so different. Dad had lost the ability to speak quite early on in the piece, and yet Mum was able to speak right until the end. Dad lost the ability to walk quite early on in the piece. Mum continued to walk, but with a walking frame, and it was only close to the end that she ended up needing to use a wheelchair. So very different paths my parents took. I am not looking too far into the future, but I'm sure my path will be different as well. And that's important to know. If you know somebody with Parkinson's disease, you may have some insight into what may happen, what may be ahead. But your journey is your journey, and that's important to realise. One thing I thought I'd mention, throughout these podcasts, my voice can sound quite different. When it's under control, it's not too bad, and I think I speak reasonably clearly. But there are days and there are times of day when my voice is not so great. First thing in the morning, it's not so great. In the evening, it's not so great. But no amount of throat clearing or anything can necessarily improve it. So if I have a croaky throat, I have a croaky throat, and hopefully the message still gets through. But if I didn't record whenever I had a croaky throat, basically this podcast would be empty, and there would be nothing to listen to of interest at all. So I hope the message is still of interest. I hope you can get around the fact that my voice is not perfect. I did try, there is a ability to improve the voice on this software that I'm using, but I tried it once and I didn't like it. I didn't think it sounded like me, and it wasn't real. So I'm all about being real. I am real about my experiences, my emotions, my feelings, the things that are happening to me. I don't hide anything. I'm very open, and so I want to be open about my voice. It's not laziness that I can't be bothered re-recording. Sometimes I've re-recorded several times, but it is the fact that my voice is my voice, and for good or ill, that's what it's going to be like. So yeah, this is a Parkinson's voice. This is my reality, and this is what you'll hear from time to time, the variance in my voice. This is Sue for Parkies and Me, my journey with Parkinson's. I hope you'll join me for the ride. Kia kaha, be strong, be brave, be you.